Hi everybody, Matt here, and today we are playing HiveSwap FriendSim. When we last left off, we had finished Volume 13, and now we are starting Volume 14 of Cleanliness and Clownliness. This is a dark world, both because it's night and because of the brutal struggle for survival among its polyhemochromatic inhabitants, many of whom seem to thrive on havoc and carnage. You'd be interested to see the Michelin Guide for entry for Alternia. You're convinced that after a day here, Anne Rand would sign up with the Little Sisters of the Poor. Genghis Khan and Attila the Hun would join the Quakers, and Adolf Hitler would seek membership in the World Peace Council. Here. Godwin's Law Alert. Feeling a little dramatic tonight. Mart, Stee, Hutek, and Carico Pirate. Let's go Mart's T. Mars T. Mars Tie. Despite a certain sense of pervading existential gloom that you haven't managed to shake even after communing with a possible oracle/secret agent, you're feeling pretty alright. No more brooding in your cliffside apartment. You have a fresh thirst this evening, a thirst for friendship. You're wandering around a neighborhood you haven't seen in a while, just a few blocks from where you crash landed. Maybe you'll go pay a visit to the crash site of your ship, even though it's long since been stripped for parts by the local population. Maybe you'll try and find Damon and say hi, though you're pretty sure he's still living the nomadic shrubbery lifestyle. You're just here for nostalgia, honestly. Maylee's who? You hardly know her. Just then, from across the street echo two voices raised an argument. Well, one is soft and murmuring, and one is loud and honking. A rust-blood girl and a purple-blood guy are squared off in front of a patch of graffiti that blooms over the bricks like moss. The girl appears to be in the process of scrubbing it away. There's a bucket and a collection of sponges next to her. And I told you this shit is sacred motherfucking iconography, the purple blood is saying. So fuck the hell off, little red dumpling. The rust blood says something back that makes him laugh. The sacred iconography appears to be a collection of swear words and a couple colorful renderings of certain sections of troll anatomy you have not yet had the chance to explore. The girl with the bucket wrings her sponge out and stares the clown down. Well, you assume she's staring him down. She's wearing big round goggles to match the bright rubber gloves, pulled all the way up to her elbows. Despite the mop bucket, she looks more like a scientist from a B-grade horror movie than a janitor. Purple Blood doesn't have any visible weapons on him, but that doesn't make him look any less dangerous. And unless the girl has a blade in that mop handle, she's totally defenseless. You've faced this precise scenario more than once, but it doesn't get any easier. No matter how much self-confidence you earn or hardships you endure, life or death friendship decisions don't get any easier. Let's intervene. You're kidding. You were never going to leave her to fend for herself. It's against your religion of reflexively and ceaselessly searching for new buddies. You aren't making excuses for it anymore. You've decided to take what Boulder said to heart and just resign yourself to your fate. Well, that isn't exactly what she said, but a lot of it was confusing and spooky. You are half convinced she was just doing it for the mysterious aesthetic. You stride confidently toward the altercation, calling out a challenge to the rogue clown. Nobody messes with those less fortunate while you are on the case. Since it's been resoundingly too long since you've had a truly ironic and hilarious twist of fate befall you, as soon as you step up onto the sidewalk, the purple blood's fist connects with your head, and your head connects with the concrete. Clock. Mind your own business for once in your life. Listen, you aren't the goddamn alien special forces. You aren't the friendship police. You can't afford to insert yourself into the middle of every single altercation in hopes that the drunken gamble of destiny will offer up new and greater connections onto your sore, tired ass. You aren't made of goodwill alone. Everyone needs breaks, man. March casually by, hands behind your back. If you knew how to whistle, you would. Nothing to see here, folks. Feet smack the ground behind you and the girl runs by. Surprisingly spry in the rubber boots. Not spry enough, apparently, because the high blood is hot on her heels. Nope, not helping. Definitely not. Don't get involved. Don't get involved. You already made your choice. You are not getting involved. The last moment, you stick out one of your famous legs, and the clown goes flying. He hits the pavement hard, nose first. Son of a bitch. There you went and got involved. High blood might be hissing the concrete, but he won't be for very long. It's tough to kill a clown. You take this opportunity to GTFO. Damn, you don't know anybody around here. Maybe you can run back to your stolen vehicle before. Hands grab you by the back of your hoodie. Back of the hoodie, hauling you around the corner and into the shadows of an alleyway. Shit, the clown must have friends, and those friends must have circled around behind you. You open your mouth to scream. Not because you think anyone is going to help you, but just because you might as well. If you can't go out fighting, you might as well go out making as much noise and being as obnoxious as possible. A rubber gloved hand slaps over your mouth before you can get out more than a squeak. You taste soap. Chill. Stop struggling. It's the Rustblood girl. She's taken the time you'd bought her and cashed it in to take refuge in an alleyway. The two of you hold still as the purple blood storms by, stomping and cursing and bleeding from a gash across his forehead. You did that. Your leg did that. You will never get over the rush you receive from doing something cool and confident. Marcy holds on to you until the sound of his footsteps fade. You feel her heartbeat hammering against your back. She lets you go and slides away to the other side of the alley, as if in apology for being so close to you before. Her boots squeak. You take a few steps nearer, so you don't have to shout to be heard. You thank her for helping. You're both just all about helping, apparently. You decide not to mention that part where you tried very hard not to get involved. Yeah, you didn't have to do that. Actually, you shouldn't have. I'm perfectly capable of tripping my own clowns. Tell her you have no doubt that's true. Even if she doesn't have a sword in her mop handle, she seems to have a good pair of legs. Mentioning her mop appears to remind her that she left all her cleaning equipment out on the street. She takes a furtive glance back down the way the guy had gone, then heads back up toward the graffiti. You scamper to keep up. You shouldn't be out alone in a place like this. Not that I can really summon much gumption to care beyond this one walk down the street. But did you come here to die? Because that's what's going to happen if you keep this shit up. What's your deal? You don't know about your deal. worked really hard to not consider your deal at all, because the existential radio static that prickles at the base of your neck when you think about your deal it is astoundingly unpleasant. Attempting to change the subject, you ask her if maybe she shouldn't get out of here while she has the chance. Is that bucket? You ask her if maybe she shouldn't get out of here while she has the chance. Is that bucket really that important to her? Marcy looks at you with a certain eyebrow raise that you're well accustomed to by now. No shit. You just put your foot in it again, culture-wise. I wish you could find a book with a crash course on Alternium, or at least a decent Wikipedia article. But it's not like there's any helpful Earth Guide for Idiots, at least. Earth Guide for Idiots. At least, you've never heard of one. Besides, things are different depending where you are. Things are different depending where you are on Earth, geographically. You imagine it's the same for Alternia. You feel positively nauseated at the idea of having to learn a whole new set of societal norms. You'll just stay in this particular city, thank you very much. Do I care about my bucket? It's kind of a weird way to phrase it. I care about it as much as the next person who doesn't want to get cold. Also, scour drays don't grow on coniferous fauna. She tosses the discarded sponges back into the bucket. You bend down to help, but she stops you with a sardonic glance. Most of her glances are sardonic, but this one especially so. She goes back to work on the graffiti. If you're going to hang around, you could make yourself less useless. Why don't you make sure that high blood doesn't come back? Oh yeah, for sure. You can totally do that. Of course, you won't be able to actually do anything if he comes back. Where's Romelli when you need her? Maybe you could use your own limp corpse to slow the clown down. Not that you know Marsty well enough yet to love the idea of sacrificing yourself for her. Man, character development is great. Not immediately going to your death is great. Though, that thought sends a creeping wash of anxiety along your spine. You don't understand it, so you try to distract yourself. Yeah, you ask Marcy if she just cleans the graffiti or if she has other jobs. Well, okay, maybe not. Jobs. You know, nobody on Alternia has an actual job. Whatever I'm feeling, mostly. Today I was feeling getting rid of this incredibly ugly piece of shit drawing. Tomorrow I might be feeling dirty front door mats. Depends on my mood. Yeah, you def get that. You are also a person with mercurial moods. Do you seek out new friends tonight, or do you go to one of your standby pals? Sometimes the universe just sweeps in and decides for you. Yeah, well, you are extremely weird and focused on weird shit. But also kind of magnetic at the same time. It's freaking me out. Ah, thank you. Marcy dunks her sponge back in her bucket, or scour tray, right. Buckets are dirty. The drones don't make it down here very often, so there's a lot of shit to scrub. You tell her it's cool that she likes cleaning so much. Where you're from, physical labor is considered morally virtuous. Also kind of looked down on? Fuck, maybe you could use an Earth Cultural Handbook your own damn self. Who said anything about liking it? Who made the rule that I can only do what I like? She slams the sponge down hard into the scour tray, getting water down the front of her apron. This is just what I do. What, do you like wandering around in someone else's hoodie? Accosting strangers? Kind of, sometimes. You didn't choose the friend life. The friend life chose you. The Marcy isn't a stranger in a strange world like you are. She's got horns and gray skin and everything. You realize she's a Rusty, but come on. Oh yeah. How many burgundies do you know exactly? Well, one, and he is interested in meat, but he's pretty enthusiastic about it. One might say over-enthusiastic. Think I'm not enthusiastic? She scrubs harder to show you just how enthusiastic she can be. Delicate calligraphy-based rendering on the word globe gobbler disappears beneath her soapy hands. Okay, maybe Naaman is not the greatest example of someone enjoying their hobbies in a healthy and natural way. But you know plenty of other low-bloods with cool hobbies. Skyla, Trixie, and Zirva. Am I supposed to know who these idiots are? Not all low-bloods know each other. Oh man, that's not what you meant at all. I'm not going to explain my life story to some random alien. Are you going to help or not? Oh well, you thought you were supposed to be keeping an eye out for clowns? Yeah, well, instead you were asking me invasive questions. So now help me scrub. Despite these mixed signals, you pick up a sponge and start cleaning. This is actually a lot harder work than it looks like. And your back and shoulders begin to ache immediately. If Marcy does this every day, she must be ripped under that jacket. She stops talking and you just clean alongside her. Worried that you're royally screwing this up. You don't know how to fix it. The graffiti is quickly disappearing between your combined efforts. And you aren't sure how much longer she's going to put up with you after that. You've got to pull out the big friendship guns, and fast. You ask, in your characteristically smooth style, what she's doing after this. Any plans? Just hypothetically? Who knows? Probably I'll just look for more shit to clean. Well, just so happens you know a lot of dirty places, just exceptionally filthy. Oh yeah? Where? Try downtown. You suggest that this place sure looks right for serious power cleaning, cause, wow, filthy. Yeah, I guess. I was planning on cleaning down here anyway. Jones mostly take care of the high blood neighborhoods. Interesting. Zebra has low bloods cleaning for him, but maybe he's an exception. I'm not here to explain cultural dynamics to you, at least not for free. Consider mentioning that you are the main character, thus totally deserving of cultural exposition, but you doubt she'd take that well. Also, it's kind of a weird thing to say, so never mind that. Show Mart's DNA you recognize. The one with the incinerator where Polypa had gotten rid of her assassination disguise. Here, maybe? Too easy. Okay, well, what about the stretch of road where Romelli killed a dude? There's still quite a bit of purple blood spattered on the ground. Pretty good. But no, I don't have the right outfit for blood. Jesus, picky. Oh, sorry. Are my personal preferences inconveniencing you? No, but you aren't used to this shit taking so long to pop off. Usually, you've made a friend by this point, or you've been killed. You've been killed before? Where are you? The poor beast? 9 lives? In retrospect, that was also a pretty weird thing to say. You mean it as a metaphor. Sometimes your internal monologue gets out of hand and spills out in your locution. Whatever, dude. You're considering just bringing her back to your place to clean up the mess you've made there, but when you realize Marcy is no longer with you, you turn to find her gazing down an adjacent street into an empty lot. The space gives you a brief twinge of recognition before it fizzles away to nothing. Meh, probably just deja vu. First, you don't notice the person sitting on the tire pile, because without her other half, her silhouette is underwhelming. Oh, fantastic. Hey, Normie. Oh, hi, Focal. It's been a while. She might notice that you are a whole lot less normal than you used to be. You're right. They're weird as hell. Hey, you are also like 80% more confident than you used to be. You don't back down from insults. Perhaps Marcy is the one who is weird, because she's the one who is so fucking into cleaning up after people. That's really strange. Hey, that's a little judgy. Yeah, for real. Oh, you had been expecting Focal to join you in mocking Marcy. You didn't want to be mean. You didn't want to be too mean or anything. You were just really sick of having your intelligence insulted concerning stuff you absolutely could have no way of knowing about. You wanted to make her look like an asshole, but as usual, it seems to be, in fact, you who are the asshole. Marcy seems to agree. Hey, maybe go fuck yourself a little bit. You apologize. You didn't mean it. You just experience pilot confusion when there's too many friends in one place. You're sorry. You didn't mean to insult her hobby, but she actually doesn't really seem into it. Too into it. You're just trying to help. You know plenty of low bloods who do all sorts of activities. Oh yeah? Who? Well, Focal, for instance. She trolls. Wait, you need another word. Turn her boyfriend, harass people. They seem to enjoy that. Also, there's Skyla and Chixie and Serva. They all excel in their fields, to a certain extent. Right. So how's that going for them? Well, you deflate somewhat. Chixie gets skeeved on all the time, and Skyla constantly has to defend her home and Lucis against thieves. Serva literally had to gouge their own eye to downplay their psychic power. Vickery, well, you can tell, Vickery is having a great time falling off cliffs and imagining the firmament below. He might be an outlier and therefore shouldn't be counted. While you're working through your apparent classism through not navel-gazing monologue, Marcy is checking Focal out. Like, really checking her out. Who the fuck are you? Focal slaps Marcy's hand away. Keep your fronds to yourself. Marcy raises her goggles up to her forehead. You've got void rot. No shit, trolls Sherlock. Marcy gives her another once-over. She looks impressed. You honestly can't blame her. Marcy likes grimy things, well, Focal is right up her alley. Dirt El Dorado. Selfishly, you wish you'd met Marcy back when you were more of a wreck at the beginning of your adventure. You're filthy. And you have no idea what you're talking about. Also, fuck you. Marcy touches her on the forehead slowly this time, so as not to take her by surprise. Focal resembles a nervous little bug trying to decide whether or not to scuttle away. Did you think the dirt helped keep you insulated? It's actually the opposite of that. If you were less grimy, the energy transfer would be easier. Alright, Cuprum isn't here, which means her giant battery isn't here either. Yeah, I sent him out for takeout. I needed a break. But won't she, die? Not instantly. Does your house top die as soon as you unplug it? What are you? A fucking void rot scholar? What do you know? I know a lot of things. You ask Marcy if she's interested in medicine. Maybe she could go into that. Marcy rounds on you in stark irritation. This is the most emotion she's shown since you've met her. Whatever you're trying to do here, stop. I'm not stupid. What do you think they'd say if I applied to be a medic off-planet? They'd laugh their asses off and hand me a saturated scrub pull. And that's if they're feeling generous. This is what I do. So let me do it. Chastened and uncharacteristically speechless, you nod and let Marcy turn back to Focal. You really don't want to just leave it like that, but maybe the truly friendly thing here would be less trying to improve your friend's life and just letting them live it. Damon has told you much the same thing all those months ago. That he's planning to just keep his head down and try and stay alive. Stop lifting, but maybe not everything has to be. Marcy gives Focal some advice as to the best way to make sure her body retains as much energy as possible. Vocal groans, and you're pretty sure that if she had eyes, she'd be rolling them. You do notice, however, that she listens. Marcy starts back down the sidewalk after that, pushing her scour dray in front of her. After a moment's hesitation, you follow, half expecting for her to get mad again. Says she just slows down so you can catch up. She's pulled her goggles back down over her eyes. You think they're probably more there for social reasons than protective ones. Sheepishly, you apologize for being a busybody back there. You're just really used to wanting to help people out. Kind of for selfish reasons, friendship reasons, but still. Yeah, it's fine. No hard feelings. You just like fixing things when they're busted, or when you've busted them down through your own chronic idiocy. Sometimes you've just got to do what you can. But you think Marcy might understand that a little bit. Yeah, I think I might. Sometimes it'd be like that. Try Uptown. Just so happens that you have connections. Uptown girls and boys. Ask Marcy how she'd like to clean a mansion. I guess that could be cool. What are you thinking? Well, first of all, you want to bring your new friend to your stolen car. Marcy doesn't seem that interested, although she does comment that she's never been in a skeletal buggy. Then she begins picking up the crumbs from your back seat. You tell her she doesn't have to clean up after you. Bold of you to assume I'm doing it for you. You shrug. You've come to accept that some of your friends are just fundamentally difficult to understand. Some days you really think you're beginning to get it, and the next you remember that alien isn't just your immigration status. Marcy stares out the window as the houses get bigger and grander. Car passes beneath an archway and a light sweeps over the two of you. Marcy stiffens. You tell her not to worry. It's just a sensor to discern your blood color. Malik gave you a plug-in to scramble it. No stress. Must be nice to have friends in high places. Ask Marcy where she lives. Wherever I feel like. Depends. So she's just like Damon. Her hive was destroyed, or possibly up a tree like Boulder, so it's possible she was just fucking with you. I wish she'd stop comparing me to people like I should know what you're talking about. And no, my hive is fine. Just 'cause it's boring cleaning the same fucking building over and over again. You get how that could be cool, going from place to place. Like Damon going for meat and Connell and Azija looking for people to kill. Everyone here seems to be weirdly obsessive and hyperfixated. Maybe that's what happens when you bring up a bunch of kids and a robot regulated world where the only rule is don't get cold, and, by the way, some of you are inherently inferior. Have fun. As you get closer to Zebra's hive, you begin to get chilly strut pods. What if he tries to make Marcy into one of his, guests? He has that weird thing for low bloods. You figure she'll be safe if she's with you, but you aren't always the best at making good decisions when you have more than one friend to deal with at once. The sight of Zebra's Lucis glaring at you from an upstairs window clenches it. You can't take another condescending stare from Zebra Dad. Where are we going? Hope you weren't talking about this pathetic mess on the seat. Barely worth my time. You could make a better mess, you swear. Ugh, no. I don't want a staged mess. Fuck, okay. Who do you know who is kind of a slob, but also not a total piece of shit? Good Dad lets you in with a hysterical happy bleep. Aw, I miss you too, Goat Dad. Marcy weathers his snuffling and nuzzles, and when he tries to eat one of her rubber gloves, she scratches him behind the ears as a distraction. She gently removes the glove from his mouth. I need these, actually. You call to Gallic, but he doesn't respond. Maybe he's out. The coffee pot is half full, but it's cold. Toadette bleats and butts you gently. Aw, poor guy. Are you lonely? Has Gallic been neglecting you now that he has a hate boyfriend? Marcy is a little more uncomfortable here than she had been in your car. But when she catches sight of Gallic's study, all that slogs off. It's even more of a mess than it had been last time you were here, when he's been trying to impress you with his intellectual clutter. She gets down to work immediately, stacking books alphabetically and sorting papers into piles by subject. You know Gallic is an A-type personality who will probably go briefly ballistic at the knowledge someone has messed with his stuff, but Marcy is just so organized and thorough. You feel sort of weird about just standing here and watching her clean, so you gather up all the used dishes and bring them into the kitchen. When you're done with that, you figure you'll just try to be entertaining. You ask her if she's seen any movies recently. Since you've made friends with Zebedee and started hanging out with Tagiri's anime club, you've been exposed to multiple cultural touchstones. Yeah, I don't really watch much TV. Don't worry, I don't need to be entertained. She kneels down to start dusting beneath the couch. I know you think I'm basic, and that's fine. I don't really give a shit about... I don't really give a shit what anyone thinks. Let alone a condescending alien with no blood color to speak of. Yikes. So if you wouldn't mind... Crunch, crunch, crunch. Oh. Oh no. Crunch, crunch, crunch. What the hell was that noise? There you go again, getting swept up in a friendship endeavor and totally beefing it. You forgot that about Goat Dad's propensity for nomming on anything within reach. He spent the last 10 minutes happily munching on several leather-bound notebooks. Gallic's experimental word rumpuses. Fuck, he loves those. He's going to murder you. Smooth another layer onto this farce, the front door creaks open and Gallic's voice rings out, calling to Goat Dad, who lets out an excited bleat and scampers off, trailing white scraps. Marcy looks from you to the front of the house and down at the paper trail. Then she's out the window and off the hill, because basic she may be, she's no idiot. Scamper. Anyways, that'll be all for this time on HiveSwap FriendSim. If you liked the video, like it, and if you want to see more of my content, subscribe. Have a good day, and do what you do best.